The Socceroos have pulled off a miracle, qualifying for the World Cup in Qatar later on this year after a tense penalty shootout victory against Peru this morning. Coach Graham Arnold pulled off what proved to be a masterstroke, substituting the captain Matt Ryan for backup keeper Andrew Redmayne for the shootout. The Australians started in the worst possible fashion, missing their first spot kick. Peru missed their third spot kick and then, in sudden death, stumbled again.
Alex Valera. And Redmayne makes the save. It's a save that means the world to Australia.
Absolutely amazing scenes. The Socceroos home, 5-4. This is their fifth straight World Cup appearance. And Australia will face France, Denmark and Tunisia in Group D. Joining us live now for his reaction, former Socceroo Mark Bosnich. Mark, good to see you. Hey, what a morning. That's the sort of news that we like to wake up to, huh?
Good morning to you, Peter, and good morning to all the listeners. Absolutely fantastic. And like you said, it was a shock. Not many people, including myself, thought that they would beat the fifth best team from South America, but they thoroughly deserved to go through during normal time. They were the better team today, Australia. And then up came the penalty shootout, quite like 2005, and up stepped the hero, Andrew Redmayne. I'm so happy for him. And Graham Arnold deserves a lot of credit because he left himself open by making that change right towards the end of extra time to bring Andrew Redmayne on, like you said, backup keeper for Matty Ryan, who's had success in penalty shootouts before, but it worked wonders. And Andrew Redmayne today is a national hero. So all those Socceroos and Graham Arnold and the supporters, an absolutely fantastic achievement. Like you said, the fifth straight World Cup that Australia's qualified for. And like I said, I really I don't know else what to say. I can't stop laughing, Pete.
Well, no, and deservedly so too, because look where Australia was in qualifying not so long ago. I mean, there's not too many people who thought that we could qualify, including myself too.
Yeah, look, they started off the qualifying period really, really well. And it's been difficult. We know that because of the travel and all. They've had to play a lot of away games because of COVID, obviously, and so forth. And they really fell away towards the end. And I was like you. I thought if they had to go through the playoff route, I thought they would beat the third-place team in the other group, which they did, UAE. But I thought fifth best placed team from South America was going to be maybe just a bridge too far. But like I said, they were the better team for the 90 minutes and for the first part of extra time. Second part of extra time, I'll give it to Peru. They did hit the post. But come the penalty shootout, like I said, and, a lot of eyebrows were raised when Graham Arnold made that substitution, including my own.
Well, because it can go wrong. We've seen that kind of tactic go wrong in the past.
We have. But, John Crawley, who's the goalkeeping coach, who's worked with Graham Arnold, and those three goalkeepers, both Danny Vukovic, Andrew Redmayne, and two backups, and Matty Ryan, he works with them very, very closely. So, they would have had this scenario planned in their mind beforehand. But it's one thing having that plan, Pete. It's another thing executing it. Yeah. And he left himself open because if it didn't go our way, I think we'd be having a different conversation this morning. So congratulations to them. And like I said, an absolutely wonderful achievement. And for me, it's pretty much, you could just switch back to 2005, another South American side, and another penalty success. So, like I said to you, so happy for them.
As a goalkeeper, and in my view, Australia's best ever goalkeeper, but as a goalkeeper, Mark, what do you make of Redmayne's approach? The whole dancing on the line thing and moving from side to side. What do you make of that?
Yeah, look, I find it very strange, but I've seen it being successful before. I think it was about probably 2, maybe 3 years ago now. His team, Sydney FC, played against Perth Glory in the A-League Grand Final in Perth. And it went to a penalty shootout, and he'd done exactly the same tactic, and it worked. Sydney won, and that was away from home as well. It's always more difficult away from home when you're facing penalty shootouts. That was in front of a packed Optus Stadium. So as silly as it looks, and a lot of people from England were calling me in Europe and in South America going, what is he doing? I think it can be very off-putting. And I wouldn't be surprised as well. Honestly, I know IFAB, who's the international body, who's the subdivision of FIFA who make the rules for the game. I wouldn't be surprised if other goalkeepers start doing this and they might look at that and say, well, listen, we don't think this is this is cricket, so to speak. But
Yeah.
it works, and it worked this morning, and he's a national hero.
I remember it was a couple of years ago when Joe Hart tried to do this to Andrea Pirlo, and he just dinked him because he just didn't like the look of it. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Hey, what about looking forward now to the World Cup, Mark? I mean, what are our prospects here, realistically?
Well, exactly the same from this morning. We're going to be complete underdogs. We're in a very similar group that we were 4 years ago, both Denmark and France. And funny enough, Peru were in our group 4 years ago in Russia. This time it will be Tunisia. France and Denmark. France are, a team that can win it. Denmark are a top 10 team in Europe. They're going to be, very, very steep challenges. But in Tunisia, you've got a team that, haven't qualified for a decent period of time, come through the African qualifications in their playoffs. They will be difficult, but they're beatable. But it's only the top two that will be going through. This will be the last time ever, Peter, that will be 32 teams in the World Cup. From 2026 onwards, there'll be 48 teams. So only 2 teams will go through. Again, we'll be up against it, and it'll be difficult, but you never know. Like we saw this morning, I think Australian footballing teams, anyway, are much better when they're clearly in that underdog role and no one expects anything from them, and then they really surprise us. And that will be exactly the same in Qatar come November.
Okay. Mark Bosnich, as always, really good to get your thoughts, and what a happy morning. Great to have you on, and I don't know, do you go and have a glass of Slivovitz now? What are you going to do?
I might do, Pete. I've got to, as you well know as well, I've got to help get the kids off to school. Yeah. But then after that, maybe some Slivovitz, maybe some rakia. I might do. For those who don't know that, the part of the world where Peter and I's ancestors derive from. Exactly. That's like what we call, that's the local moonshine.
I need someone here at the desk this morning. I don't know what to do with my emotions. I'm very happy too. Mark Bosnich, thank you as always. We'll talk to you again soon.